What is up everyone, my name's Al from GamesRip, and today we're going to be taking a look at Xenon 2 Megablast. Not for the Amiga, although it is the Amiga version on the Sega Dreamcast. This fantastic shmup, one that everyone knows. In fact, the game seems to be shooting through the roof in value for the Amiga, so much so you could probably go out and buy a Dreamcast and play this version for less than it cost to buy the original copy of the game. Thanks to Ian Michael, this has now become a thing on the Sega Dreamcast on his fantasy console, the CD16, which essentially is showing his love for the Amiga and the Dreamcast meshed into one. Let's take a look. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, that is the intro. This Amiga CD16, essentially, it is a fantasy console that Ian Michael would do if he basically had a chance. I mean, this is basically it. It's doing it, but on the Dreamcast. If that makes any sense, I hope it makes sense. But yeah, it's just to bring out a fantasy console. Now, as you can see, we've got the FMV intro as well, which is absolutely fantastic and something, I think it's great to see again on the Sega Dreamcast. Now, let's take a look at the actual game. Now, Xenon 2 is actually a very, very pricey title for the Amiga, and it just seems to be going up and up in value, which, is a shame. But now this is, well, so much so you could actually go out, buy a Dreamcast, get this version, which actually, to be fair, is a superior version, and play it on the Sega Dreamcast that you've just bought. So that is the best way to play it, and like I said, Xenon 2 is a fantastic game, although hard as nails, so it will keep you coming back because, at the end of the day, games like this, even though they are difficult, it's not too difficult to the point where you can actually progress. Now, the way to basically do this is obviously memorization. It all comes down to memorization with this one, because without it, you ain't getting that far. Now, what I will say is obviously the controls are nice and simple. It literally is the D-pad and a couple buttons. That really is all you need for this game. It's a shooter. It's a real nice, simple controlled shooter. So much so it's not too complex, which is great. Because, shmups, they can be a little bit too complex sometimes. Too many different buttons. This one's nice and simple. But like I said, it is rock hard. Now, what you will just notice is there's a soundtrack playing right now. That soundtrack can be started by pressing A and B together, which then starts the soundtrack. Now, as you're also probably noticing, is you've obviously got the soundtrack itself and gunfire as well, whereas before on the original Amiga version, this didn't happen. It would kind of interrupt it a little bit. Do you see what I mean? Either way, it works perfectly, as you can hear, and no drop in frame rate at all. That's one thing I have heard about this version, is someone did mention that maybe the frame rate isn't quite there. Okay, well, let's take a comparison shot, shall we? So this footage came direct from Ian Michael's channel. Obviously, I will drop a link in the description below on how to do that. He did advise that I could use this for reference purposes. Now, as you can see, the one on the left is the Amiga 500. The one on the right is the version that we're playing today, Dreamcast CD16. And as you can see, there really is no difference at all. If you heard the sound effects, there literally isn't a single difference. It plays perfectly. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, the game itself, when it was originally created, wasn't all that great in, FPS. But, that's still being emulated exactly how it was over to the version we're playing today. Now, the other great thing is you do also have kind of a trade point that you reach, which basically enables you to sell and buy. Now, obviously, you're probably going to want to be buying items here, because let's face it, the more powerful your ship, extra lives, etc., the further you're going to get into this game. Don't get me wrong, you can continue when you die. The continues seem to be pretty much endless. Pretty sure they're endless. But anyway, this just shows how cool this game is, just like how cool this is. This is the shop point, where, like I said, you can buy or you can sell. Now, obviously, your cash is at the bottom there in the middle. So I had 650 credits, let's call it, although it just says real cash. But then you can go and buy other power-ups, lives, etc. which, like I said, you'll definitely need the further, or if you want to get further, in this game. Yes, it is hard, but yes, it's damn addictive, so you will need these. The other great thing is there are printable covers for this one as well, so if you want to burn a copy of this on a disc and play it on a Dreamcast with an actual disc drive and not GDI or GDMU, sorry, not GDI, or whatever, you can do that as well, which is fantastic, and I believe there's quite a range starting to grow with the Amiga 16, kind of fantasy console, so that's great, and I really, really love that, because obviously there's also Sensible Soccer, like I said, there's Road Rush as well, so it's growing, and these are some classic titles, some really, really good titles, and let's face it, they will look fantastic on the shelf, you cannot deny it. This is a look at basically it right now. So here is the front, and then straight after that we show you the back and also the spine there as well. So like I said, fully printable to add to your Dreamcast collection. So, this is also, this is what Homebrew is made for. This is what it's all about. Obviously, this is a port. This isn't quite classed as a Homebrew, obviously. This is a port onto a fantasy console on the Sega Dreamcast, using it as that vehicle. But yeah, great. And like I said, the sooner or the more we start to get with this, the collection will grow. And these are the best ports out there, so make sure to grab them and play them when you get a chance. Obviously, the download link is obviously attached to this video as well, so give it a shot. Now, obviously, I want to mention just like, comment, and subscribe, and also the fact that I've pretty much ditched Patreon now. I'm now going for YouTube membership, so you can obviously support the channel from $1.99, $2.99, I think. Then I'm pretty sure it's $4.99. Different levels, whatever you can afford, obviously make sure to do that, because it does support the channel. Trying to do more and more. To be fair, I'm doing a lot of homebrews and ports, I'm sure you're pretty aware. So obviously the smallest thing you can do is just give it a like, give it a comment, give it a subscribe. But, if you can, then the membership is there as well. So like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.